Welcome to Extra Scottish. I'm Callum Blackstock and I'm Scottish. Today it's Tom and Jerry, starring Chloë Grace Moretz and Michael Pena amongst others, and Tom and Jerry. So Tom and Jerry this time round, they're in New York City. Jerry's looking for a place to stay. He sets up shop in a hotel, and this girl who's sort of plodding along and kind of winging it with life here bumps into Tom in Central Park, and then she's on her way to this hotel where she just goes and essentially steals the food, and then she winds up getting a job there, and she's tasked with getting rid of the mouse because there's a famous couple coming who are having a big wedding, and she hires a cat, Tom, to get rid of a mouse, Jerry. And then, of course, that doesn't completely work to plan because Tom's pretty useless at getting rid of Jerry. I mean, all these years, he's not managed so far. And, much like the previous Tom and Jerry from some years back where they tried to make it into a movie and they became buddies and that sort of thing happens here. And then they're going at each other and that sort of Tom and Jerry-esque way of doing things. This time round, we've got some winners like the music. I love the music. It rolls in with the Tribe Called Quest. The pigeons are singing that. So I like that. Tom does a little bit of the piano and he's singing. Tom and Jerry don't seem to be able to talk other than that, but he definitely gets his singing voice in there to impress a little cat. So that was good. So that's the basics and the gist of this movie. Themes. Old foes, Tom and Jerry. Honesty. So Chloë Grace Moretz's character is obviously being dishonest and fessing up to your honesty. Also, with the couple that are getting married, there's being honest about themselves. There is a little bit of a theme, and then friendship, which classic Tom and Jerry, bonding at one point in the movie. So friendships are another part of the themes here. Best line. So as you can possibly imagine, I'm not going to conjure up some fantastic lines in this movie. Certainly not going to come from Tom and Jerry because they said diddly squat. Wrote down a couple of things. Jerry had a little business card that was quite nice. Apparently it smelled good too. I can't remember what perfume it was, but they seemed to be impressed with his business card, so that was great. So the best line here actually comes from Michael Pena's character when they're worried about having a mouse wandering around inside of their hotel during this big wedding. And he says, if a picture of this mouse is tweeted out to Instabook Face or Tiki-Tac, we're ruined. So yeah, there you go. That's the Insta-Tiki Face Tap tube. Best scene. Again, possibly grabbing on straws here, but I think when Tom suddenly breaks out into song when he's playing piano, it was at least fun that he could do so. And Jerry then can't have Tom having a great moment, so spoils it. So that's a little bit of Tom and Jerry being thrown in there inside of all this. Best performance. Well, the music was the best performance. I liked the music. Had some good stuff. Rakim, Don't Sweat the Technique, Tribe Called Quest. I think there was a touch of Jodeci in there as well when Jerry's in his little humble abode having a good old time. I don't know, at best maybe Michael Pena. I always like him. There was no real solid performances here, not really at all. Maybe's I, maybe's nah. So to start with, let's talk about a couple of things that I thought were kind of cool. At one point they get caught by the animal protection-y people, dog catchers, what are they called? Animal protection guys. Anyway, they snatch up Tom and Jerry at one point, and as they're walking through, sort of kind of like Hannibal Lecter style, where Clarice first comes in that scene, and they're walking through, and in one of the cells, it's Droopy with a Hannibal mask on. So I thought that was kind of cool. If only Droopy could have said something there too, it would have been really excellent. Or something. I don't know. It would be kind of cool. So I like that moment. Other than that, I was struggling. I feel like it was a movie where they tried to build a plot out of Tom and Jerry. And that's sometimes when they take these things, like say it was Roadrunner, they try and like build a plot, like I don't know, Wile E. Coyote's, some human something. I can't even think of a plot, because really what Wile E. Coyote and Roadrunner is Wile E. Coyote coming up with stupid stuff that doesn't work, or clever stuff that doesn't work, and Roadrunner getting one up on him. That's what Tom and Jerry is too. And they tried to make it in a movie. If anything, they should have. I mean, Tom and Jerry to me, it's almost like with this one, I felt like now they've fully passed this by, Tom and Jerry. It's like there's better movies about animals in New York, like Secret Life of Pets. Just that's what this was, but not good. Or if we're taking what now is older cat and mouse stuff, Itchy and Scratchy. Man, I'd have taken Itchy and Scratchy in the middle of this movie rather than Tom and Jerry. So, not for me. So let's go with no. Don't rush out to see it. Not even with your kids. Movie to compare this to, or to do instead of this movie, you should go and see how it was done best with Who Framed Roger Rabbit. Now that is a great way of doing some mixed media stuff and having the tunes everywhere. And Christopher Lloyd in that movie, man, all of that. That's just a great classic Who Framed Roger Rabbit. Or you could also do Space Jam, or I Anticipate, and let's wait and see how Braun does it versus how MJ did it with the second Space Jam movie. Let's see what happens there with that. Maybe that'll be good, maybe it won't. And again, I don't know how much like Tom and Jerry have Bugs Bunny and Daffy Duck and all that. Have we moved on from them as well? I don't know. Let's see how that one works. Be interesting to see. But that's a couple to look at. Scottish word, glacket, which is stupid or foolish. Maybe this whole movie, or at least Tom Glackett, So yeah.
I made my debut in '86 with a melody in the President's Mix, and now I stay on target and refuse to miss. And I still make hits with beats, parties, clubs, in the cars and jeeps. My underground sound vibrates the streets. MCs wanna beef, then I play for keeps when they sweat the technique.